Rick was surprised when he saw what was approached him from the woods. It was a jaguar. At first, Rick got scared by the animal as it is known as quite dangerous. But soon enough, Rick found out that the jaguar wasn't aggressive at all. In fact, it seemed to ask for his help. When Rick realized why he was asking for his help, he was shocked. Rick wished he'd discovered it sooner. Rick was shocked when a jaguar approached him from behind. He was in the savannah with his girlfriend on a trip for their 10-year anniversary. He saw that the jaguar wasn't aggressive towards him. It looked like the jaguar needed some help. He decided to follow him. After a few minutes of walking, Rick realized why the jaguar approached him. Rick could not believe what he saw. He saw a cheetah in the distance, but it didn't look like an ordinary cheetah. It acutely looked weird. Its belly was completely swollen. Rick immediately called a local vet. The vet could not believe what he saw either. She had never seen this before. She made an ultrasound to check everything was okay. But when the vet saw the ultrasound, she knew she had to call the police immediately. When the vet called the police, they told her that they would come her way immediately. This cheetah needed special help from more than just a vet. This cheetah needed surgery, as there was obviously something strange going on in its stomach. It might even be a life or death situation. When the police finally arrived, they helped the vet to sedate the now almost lifeless giant cheetah. But the police did not only help the vet, they also came to Rick. "Sir, we need you to come with us. It is important." Rick was shell-shocked. What did he do wrong? George answered questions about himself and the cheetah, but he did not know much either. He was just a simple tourist. Why did they want to know all of this? When he was done with answering all the questions, he heard disbelief from the surgery room. "I can't believe this," said the vet. But what did the vet find inside the cheetah that he was so incredibly surprised by? For almost a month now, Rick and his fiancée Joanna were on a trip in the savannah. They wanted to celebrate their 10-year anniversary in style. They both loved this kind of environment and wanted to see the Big Five. Therefore, they chose this journey, but not everything went to plan. Rick and Joanna both did not like to plan everything beforehand and just wanted to see how certain things would go. However, this led to some challenges. They did not book any hotels, and also Jeep safaris weren't booked. Especially the latter gave some problems. They booked a safari trip with some shady figures. At first it seemed fun to them, but later on they noticed that they weren't exactly taking the normal safari routes. This gave a feeling of uncertainty to Rick and Joanna that they did not necessarily like. The strange route ended near a lake, where the shady figures told Rick and Joanna that they could relax as no animals would come here. And although they seemed shady figures, the route itself was wonderful. But after they were chilling a bit, something approached them that they did not expect. It was a jaguar who approached them. At first, Rick got the shock of his life. He quickly ran towards the safari jeep to make sure he was safe. But after he revised the situation, he saw that the jaguar actually was not aggressive at all. He wanted them to follow him. Rick and the staff followed the jaguar towards a tree, and there they saw the biggest cheetah they'd ever seen. The staff of the safari even recognized the cheetah, but the cheetah did not seem himself. Its belly was completely swollen. It looked like it needed help from Rick and the staff. One of the staff approached the cheetah to check in on him. He had to figure out what was the problem. Otherwise, this could have negative consequences for the cheetah. He decided to call for more backup from other rangers that did safari trips, as he could not do this on his own. The man talked to his superior about the situation. For Rick and Joanna was it a bit vague as they couldn't follow the whole conversation. But it seemed like action had to be taken immediately. After the phone call ended, the man immediately called for more backup. But he also asked Rick and Joanna something. He asked if Rick and Joanna could assist them before all the rangers arrived, to make sure the cheetah would not go away in the meantime. Ricky and Joanna hesitated, but they did not want to be guilty of an animal that wasn't okay, so they hesitantly said yes. But not everything went according to plan. "Hit back," yelled the tour guide. Apparently, they came to close, which could be a danger as a cheetah might act aggressively in this condition to defend himself. Ricky and Joanna immediately stepped away, and the tour guide came with another idea. The rangers decided that they will have to call somebody and try to get a hold of the nearest animal veterinarian. When the call with the vet ended, the guide that called him reacted in full shock. The vet says that everyone has to get out of the immediate area of the cheetah, or he will definitely attack them. He asked the tour guide to do one thing before he could threat the cheetah, but that ask wasn't without risk. Even the tour guide became somewhat scared now. The vet asked them to sedate the cheetah so that they could take a closer look at the condition of the cheetah. The tour guides need to have sedatives in their cars mandatory in case for emergencies like this. Despite the fact that this guide seemed shady, they had brought the sedatives with them. After the guide prepared the sedative, he tried to shoot the cheetah with it. This was tense because missing the cheetah would mean that it would become more aggressive. Luckily, the guide did not miss and the cheetah did not fight it. It seemed like the cheetah really wanted some help. Now that the cheetah was sedated, they could clearly see where the bulge of the animal was located on the body. The guide called back the vet, who was still not there, to report their finding. They were curious about what they had to do next. But then the vet's tone changes immediately after hearing where the bulge is. The bulge was located on a very specific place in the body, at the start of the stomach, meaning that it is probably unable to enter the cheetah body. But what could be inside this cheetah? Nobody knew, so they really needed a vet for this. The cheetah has obviously swallowed something it shouldn't have, and probably required immediate surgery if it was to survive. There was no time to lose, but the rangers didn't know what to do, so they asked the vet what they should do. Is she here within the crucial time, or should they bring the cheetah to her? They hoped it was the first option, but for the vet to get to the Rick and Joanna's location was a challenge in itself, because she did not know the exact location of the rangers and the workers. Next to that, it was also rush hour, so she would probably get stuck in traffic. But she had to get there as fast as possible to give the cheetah the best chance of survival. One of the rangers proposed to pick her up, but that would take too long. But there were still people in the rangers' headquarters who knew the rangers' location exactly and how to get to the location. So the vet decided to visit the headquarters. After explaining the situation, a manager was willing to help her, and they were going to use his all-terrain jeep to traverse the savannah, which is never easy. The vet experiences one hell of a ride. Hopefully she could get there in time. The journey takes about 3 hours in total, a journey on which the vet had considered many times if the life of this cheetah was worth wasting a whole day plus extra on it. Other animals in need might have also needed her help, which she did not want to miss out on too. At the site, the whole group were also struggling with the time they had to wait for the vet. Rick and Joanna also wanted to go home, but that wasn't possible with this cheetah in danger. Their love for animals kept them up, but then their fear became the truth. The sedative wore out, and the cheetah had no intention of staying at his current place. Rick and Joanna got nervous, as this may put them in danger. They asked if some of the members maybe could take them back to their hotel, but the tour guides did not want that, as that put their colleagues in danger. To resolve this situation, they had to make a decision. They decided to stick to the plan and help the cheetah, otherwise it would probably die, which was something that they did not want. They stayed and waited for the vet, but the vet wasn't the only one moving. The cheetah was still moving very slowly. This enabled the tour guide alongside Rick and Joanna to block the paths into the savannah. Sedating the animal again was not possible because they ran out of sedatives. The vet would bring new sedatives, but she was not at the scene yet. The vet needed to come quick, as it appeared that the cheetah began to move. Therefore, they had to keep moving to block the cheetah's path. But rather sooner than later, the animal was obviously getting irritated by this, and they had to be careful. Rick and Joanna started to worry once again. Is this really the right thing to do? A cheetah of this size, even if it was not in great condition, could easily kill one of them if it got hold of them. But the whole team knew that they had to trust each other. It became a team effort where even the people who wanted to let the cheetah go help out. When the vet finally arrived at the site, the cheetah was still laying at the same place as where the rangers kept him. But it became more and more obvious that this would not be the case for very long, as the cheetah had gotten really aggressive at this point. The rangers did not even want to remove their jeeps that they had put there to hold the cheetah in place, but the cheetah instantly targeted everyone that were still in their jeeps. Even Rick and Joanna already had some close calls, but the fear for the cheetah increased to an all-time high now. Some rangers drove their jeeps away from the cheetah. They didn't want to get hurt. The vet had to act quickly and knew that the only chance here was if she could quickly sedate the cheetah. But sedating the cheetah was not without certain risks. There was always a risk that the cheetah might not wake up from this, considering the condition it was described to be in. But seeing it so actively trying to attack the rangers, the doctor had the confidence that it would survive the injection. The only thing left was approaching the cheetah with the tranquilizers. The vet waited for the cheetah to have his head turned in the other direction. After that, she slowly approached the cheetah and swiftly injected the sedative into the cheetah's lower body. Now they had to wait until the cheetah was fully sedated. Over the next couple of minutes, it slowed down more and more, and the vet was able to inject the cheetah with a couple of more sedatives, which were necessary for a cheetah this size go completely out. After a while, the cheetah was completely out. Some rangers dropped their knees from exhaustion, and their heart rate finally dropped back to normal a bit. They'd faced possible death numerous times by now, so they were relieved that they survived. Now the vet could finally turn her attention to the big bulge on the cheetah that she actually came for. She takes her surgery kit out of the big jeep from the Rangers' headquarters and sets it up to get to work. She decided to make an ultrasound first. When looking at the ultrasound, she immediately called the police. She had suspicions of strange activities. The police were apparently already in the area to assist with the surgery. Rick had to answer a few questions first. Why him? After being approached by the cheetah, he didn't have a big role. The vet can quickly confirm her suspicions that the object is stuck at the entrance to the cheetah's stomach by feeling its body. The object stuck in its body was something that the cheetah had swallowed and could not be broken down by the digestive system. The vet could only do one thing. At this point, there is nothing else to do but to carefully cut open the cheetah and get the object out of it. But surgery always comes with a risk, especially if this surgery has to be done in the middle of the savannah. But there is no other option available. With the greatest precision and care, the vet cuts open the cheetah along with the bulge, and after getting through the skin, muscle, and esophagus, the source of the bulge is finally revealed to everybody. But it is not what they expected it to be. Out of the cheetah came a piece of meat that was not digested properly, which caused the swelling. Inside of the meat was something rather suspicious that baffled the vet at first. This was the reason why Rick had to answer the police. There was something glowing inside of the meat. There was a small microchip embedded inside of the meat, which immediately was recognized by the police. They knew who had to do something with it. It was just a matter of time before they would find the ones responsible for it. This device could be used to track the microchip. This way the poachers could easily locate the cheetah without the rangers and tour guides knowing. This was an advanced tactic used recently. The meat they had used couldn't be digested by the cheetah. That is why it got stuck. With the chip removed, the vet quickly starts stitching up the cheetah again. While she does this, she also makes sure that there was nothing else wrong with the cheetah. But he seemed to be healthy. She predicts that he would be back in shape in no time. It takes about a few minutes for the cheetah to wake up. It is still dazed and confused at first, but after a while, it starts walking away a lot faster than it was before the surgery. After the cheetah was gone again in the savannah, the vet had one thing left that she needed to do. She thanked the rangers for their incredible effort to keep the cheetah and themselves safe. After this, she went back to the city where she has more patients waiting for her. To make sure the cheetah was okay, the vet did one last thing. She made sure that the tour guides would keep her informed about the movements of the cheetah. The guides would keep an eye on the cheetah for her. The police made sure that the responsible people were caught. They actually managed to arrest the whole organization. The animals would be safe again.